Hello everyone, welcome to a new episode of Matthew's Sports Talk. As you can see, my voice is back. It's still a little rough around the edges, but doing a lot better now. It's been an awesome last couple of days, you know. As you can see, I'm kind of dual wielding it. I got a Vikings hat on and then Timberwolves stuff. Timberwolves are playing the Spurs tonight at 9 p.m. Watch out for late tonight for my post-game reaction. But what I really want to talk about is the Minnesota Vikings. As you guys probably know by now, or I've probably seen, I went to the game. I was in the suites. I was yelling, screaming, cheering at the top of my lungs. I had a great time though. I had a blast. I had plenty of beer. I hanged out with a bro. I hanged out for some really good people. A little shout out to Surly Brewing Company and also to Score North for the opportunity. It was amazing. I do have a little memento. It's kind of hard to see. Maybe if I can remove it gently without... Oh yeah, there we go. Right there. They gave us wristbands. So like you can literally see as the date, Loft Suites, and then the game. So, I moved the little hook thing, but that's my memento, and I got plenty of pictures and videos, so it was amazing, but I digress. Moving on. So yeah, Vikings won over Arizona. Kind of went like I thought it would. I mean, originally, first half it was a pretty defensive game, and there were a lot of defensive plays. Bless me, sorry. Remember, unedited. So yeah, no, it was a really good game, and then second half, it did become what I thought it was going to be, a shootout. But, you know, ended up being a final score of 34-26, 5 touchdowns. And congratulations to whoever played the Vikings scoring lottery, or not scoring lottery, scoring bingo. Whoever had the scoring bingo going on a Sunday probably fucking went crazy. You had a Kirk Cousins run, you have a Mund reception, you had a KJ reception, you had a Madison run. I mean, there was a Cook run, but my God, we're fantasy owners like me, and probably plenty of other people who had either Jefferson or Thielen, man, were they pissed off. But you know what? I won, so in the end, it wasn't really a big deal. But man, who would have predicted that in the scoring bingo card? Okay. And then moving on to today's news. I know I had a video on earlier, but I deleted it because some guy, I won't mention his name or who he works for, all I say is that he was a reporter, decided to come at me on Twitter because he literally posted some clips of the player that we traded for, tight end TJ Hockenson from Detroit. He posted some clips and he literally called them TJ Hockenson porn. And I was like, that's wrong on so many levels. It's just, I said highlights. I commented back, I was like, you should use the word highlights. And then he was like, pretty much he was like, F you. But, you know, I'm like, okay, dude, but still, it's like, seriously? You gotta know who you're addressing, okay? Because it's just, yeah, it was not a good terminology to use. It really wasn't, so... Anyway, moving on. So yeah, reacting, I will go and react to the trade the Vikings have for TJ Hockenson. They sent to Detroit a second-round pick for next year's draft, and then the following year, they sent a third-round pick, and we get TJ Hockenson, and next year, we get their fourth-round pick, and then a conditional fourth-round pick for the following year. So overall, I mean, I definitely approve of the trade. We do get a tight end who has very good receiving hands as well as he can block, because with Irv now out pretty much for the rest of the season. I mean, he suffered a high ankle sprain. The report is he's going to be out 8 to 10 weeks. So we get, and Irv didn't really have great hands like Hawkinson. Hawkinson has great receiving hands, and more so than Munda, obviously. And he also has the blocking ability. So I absolutely love the trade. I was kind of hoping, because we still had a 3rd round pick, that we'd go after a wide receiver, maybe Brandon Cooks. But also considering that TJ Hawkinson's cap hit goes from $500,000 this season to $9.3 million next season, that's a pretty big hit. I'm hoping that they probably will restructure his contract somewhat to bring that number down. But yeah, I love the trade, and it definitely gives us another weapon on offense. And, like I said, the only team that you're really chasing right now is Philadelphia, which if you hadn't thrown 2 red zone interceptions against, you might be the team that's 7-0 and is the talk of the league right now. But, the past is the past. You can only focus on the future. And this makes the future pretty fucking amazing, I would say. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the season plays out and how well that trade performs for us. So, what else to talk about in the NFL? Oh, yeah. Oh, the Packers. The Packers continue to free fall. Once again, and I got into it with a Packer fan on Twitter. He pretty much said, we got those Super Bowl titles that we hang up banners in Lambeau Field, and we don't worry about division championships. Well, you know what? Maybe you just don't have the room, and maybe there's not going to be any more hanging up of Super Bowl banners or anything else for a while. Because you know what? It's arrived. The end of the Aaron Rodgers era in Green Bay has arrived. Not saying that he won't play after this season, but nobody will look at the Packers the same after this season ends. They lost, I think the final score was 27-17, 27-17, I think. And honestly, the Bills weren't even at their best. The Bills probably gave their D performance, because Allen threw 2 interceptions that were completely unnecessary, and they were just bad passes. He could have just ran with the ball and gained yardage instead of throwing it into coverage. So, honest to God, Buffalo had their D performance and they won by 10. If they had their A performance, they would have won by 30. So, and then obviously the Packers did nothing today at the trade deadline. So, looks like I'm going to be putting up a new banner at the end of this season. I know it's kind of early, but really, excuse me. Who else do the Vikings have to worry about this season in the division? Chicago. Chicago's baffling to me. They traded away 2 good defensive players, but yet today they traded and got Chase Claypool. The Bears pretty much just became the Lions. They suck. They still have players on defense, but they pretty much suck on defense, but their offense is really good. Or at least they think their offense is going to be really good with the addition of Chase Claypool. The jury's still out, but I don't think the Vikings have to worry about the division. I think they only have to worry about Philadelphia. Honestly, for the rest of the remaining season, there's only 2 games that I would really worry about. And that is Buffalo and Dallas. That's really it. So, yeah. Moving on. NFC South. What's going on? Seriously, what's going on? I don't know what's happening. Tampa Bay sucks. They lost to Baltimore. Carolina should be on top, even though they traded away Christopher McCaffrey and fired the coach. They should be at top of the division. But you know you can't take off your helmet in the field. So you give Atlanta the chance, and they tie up, send it to overtime, and then Atlanta wins. So overall, pretty much how to sum up the NFC South, it's fucked up. You got Atlanta, who's 4-4, sitting at the top right now. And then everyone else is right below them at 3-5, except for, believe Carolina. Wait a minute. Sorry. Except for Carolina, who's 2-6. But still, if you want to talk about division being a crapshoot, that's it right there. But hold the phone, wait a minute. There might be another one. Calling the NFC West. Oh yeah, the NFC West, also a crapshoot. Who would have believed that after week 8 this season, the Seattle Seahawks with Geno Smith would be in first place in the NFC West? Who the fuck, like, seriously, I don't even think Mina Kimes could have guessed that. But do I think the Seahawks are going to win that division? Absolutely not. 49ers are on the uptick. They just got Christian McCaffrey, and Christian McCaffrey absolutely balled. They absolutely beat down the Rams. I mean, the Seahawks did beat the Giants this weekend, so credit to them. But yeah, no, I think San Francisco's going to win that division. Seattle might be a playoff team. Depends on if anyone else can show up. Because you got the Vikings. You probably got at least 2 teams for the NFC East. You got whoever the fuck wins the NFC South, which I will still say right now, I think Buccaneers can still win the NFC South. They just have to get their heads out of their asses. Obviously, whoever wins the NFC West, and then you got 2 other teams. The Seahawks could be one of those 2 teams. And then I think the other one's going to be a 3rd team from the NFC East, which is crazy, but it is what it is. Speaking of the NFC East, Cowboys fans, don't get so high, okay? You beat the Chicago Bears, big fucking whoop-de-doo. You know what else happened? They also ran 200-plus yards on your asses. Now, God fucking damn it. Of course, Tony Pollard, on the week that I sit him in fantasy, had to have 3 fucking touchdowns. But you know what? Big whoop-de-doo. I still won fantasy. And you know what? Dallas is still overrated. Their defense, now their issue is they still think they have an elite defense, even though they just gave up 200-plus rushing yards and almost 30 points to the Chicago Bears. I mean, seriously, did anyone look at Justin Fields' first half stats? I was at the Vikings game, and they were showing it on, the highlights in between, possessions. Justin Fields, I think, had like 50 at the most, 50 passing yards in the first half. Like, my God. So don't be celebrating or jumping over joy, Cowboys fans. There's still a long season, and I still have a feeling, like my Stephen A. says, just wait. They will let you down. And I think it's going to happen. So just chill out, Cowboys fans. Just chill out. Oh, yeah. Lions. What else is new? They had a big lead. A 2-touchdown lead over Miami. And guess what? They blew it. In typical Detroit Lions fashion. The Lions are still the Lions. And then I guess they were so traumatized that they decided to trade away one of their best offensive players, T.J. Hockenson, to my Minnesota Vikings. So thank you, Lions. Thank you. And I would say Miami is the other team that was very, very active at the trade deadline. Looking very, very good. So, there's that. I was going to talk about the Jets losing to the Patriots, but that's not news. So moving on. Zach Wilson is still Zach Wilson. Okay, not the next coming of Tom Brady. So just hold on. Sorry, Greeny, but Jets is still the Jets. Just hold on. Oh, yes. And then last night's game, Monday night game. Just when you think the Cincinnati Bengals have recovered from their Super Bowl hangover, they take one step forward and like 7 steps back. Getting absolutely destroyed by Nick Chubb and the Cleveland Browns. Now, I realize not having Jamar Chase definitely doesn't help the Bengals. But at the same time, you have T. Higgins. You still have Boyd. You still have... I can't remember his freaking name. Their tight end. I picked him up on fantasy. I don't know why I can't remember his name right now. You still have him. He only got, 4 catches last night. I don't know why you didn't use him more. So, yep. No, I think I think Cincinnati's still in Super Bowl hangover mode. I'm not sure if they're going to get out of it. I think they can still make the playoffs, but every loss, it looks dimmer and dimmer for them. So, all right. Excuse me. Sorry. I'm trying to speak, and my voice is still recovering. I probably shouldn't be doing this, but you know what? I said, fuck it. I can talk. Let's do a sports talk, okay? Oh yeah, so that's pretty much it. I'll do, in my next episode, I was going to do my power rankings and then actually compare them to my preseason power rankings, since we're pretty much we are halfway through the season, the NFL season right now. Because there has been a lot of surprises, both up and down. I'll talk about that next episode, and then, so yeah. And then I'll also make my week 9 picks. So yeah, stay tuned. Later tonight, post-game reaction to the Wolves versus the Suns. So, yep, stay tuned for that. See you guys.